Rule of twelfths.
What?
Rule of twelfths.
One of the best artists and nicest people I have ever known is the painter Randall Exon. In the early 1980s, he moved to the Philadelphia region to begin teaching at Swarthmore College. He showed his work at the now closed Moore Gallery in Philadelphia. This is a painting he did that I purchased from the Moore Gallery, entitled Islands in the Flores Sea. It is a jewel of our art collection. Randy painted it on a Swarthmore sabbatical to the South Pacific. Internationally recognized, Randy now shows at Herschel and Adler Modern in New York. But years ago, he had a show just for his friends and family at Wallingford's Community Art Center, a stone's throw from his home, where I got a chance to talk with him on a beautiful October evening in 2010.
Well, I've lived here 28 years. I taught at the college all that time, and so this is my home. So it was a wonderful night because quite often when I have the shows in New York or somewhere else, of course, people who would like to come can't come. And it was so relaxing today and so comforting to have old friends come, see the work, see what I've been up to, who might not have been able to come to the last show or even the show before that. It was like a homecoming. It was really lovely that way. I have great friends here. The college community has been so supportive, and the artist community in this area has been so supportive, and like you. Are you supportive, John? I'm not sure you're supportive.
I'm extremely supportive.
Oh, well, all right then. No, couldn't be better. Couldn't be better. My parents are in there, right? So I love them. I've always been very close to them, but I think I'm kind of a strange character in some ways because I've always been very interested in them. Unlike a lot of kids who grow up and they don't take a great interest in their parents' lives or their parents' history, I always had a kind of fascination with it. My dad, who you've talked to, he's had a very interesting life, but he would never think of himself as having an interesting life. But I grew up with so many stories, family stories, that just have haunted me in a way. That may be a little strong to say, but I was fascinated with these people and the lives they led and the stories that they had to tell. And I still am. And maybe I have some kind of historian in me or something like that. Ancestor worship maybe too that I can't escape.
How much does your Irishness play into your sensibilities?
The Irish part of me? I don't know.
You went to Ireland. You painted those old Irish guys. What was that all about?
When I went to Ireland the first time, I felt that connection to some common past that we had in Ireland and England. And that's always what's informed my painting, I think. Some kind of reflection on where I've come from. So it's pretty narcissistic, I suppose, when it comes right down to it. But I hope other people can pull something out of it. That's why it's really reassuring to have a show like that, and people come, and there was a nice crowd there, and they all seemed to have a nice response to it and appreciate it.
Those watercolors, were they from South Dakota?
Yeah. Last year I went out there to try to retrace some steps because I hadn't been back there in so many years. And the images that I have as a kid, I didn't grow up there. I grew up in Kansas, but we would spend our summers up there, or Christmas, we'd go up there for the holidays. And my memories of the place were all about the landscape and the river and these farms and the architecture of these farms, and of course the people that work them. So I kind of wanted to go back and see what it would feel like at this stage in my life. It's all gone now, and agrarian culture that they lived in out there and participated in, it's pretty much gone now. It's agribusiness. I mean, there's still a number of family farms, but not like there were. But it's the vastness of the place that I always found very beautiful, and that was the haunting part for me, I think. There's something very haunting about that landscape and the character of it, and I think I've always brought it with me. It's like a big bag. When I left home, I just put it in the car, and I brought it with me as an artist everywhere I've gone, and I open it up every time I make a painting, trying to make some sense out of all that. As a kid, I think I experienced something about beauty, so I've been trying to come to terms with that ever since. So when I went back and I spent all that time, I was staying in the Super 8 motel in Yankton, South Dakota for 3 weeks, and then I went out again for a while. Then I was at the Twilight Inn for a while, kind of going up and down the Missouri River and painting every day, and those watercolors were some of the paintings I did out there. Somebody asked me when I got back, was it like a sentimental journey? And I said, well, it was more like analysis, I mean, you spent you spend some time in a Super 8, and you start coming to terms with yourself right away. Anyway, turn it off now. Can I, please, John?
All right. I turned it off. But this movie is not over yet. Let's first examine the very particular sense of beauty that this remarkable man captures in his paintings. And it's not just the beauty of the composed images, but the variety and handling of the paint itself, which calls to our hearts and leaves us breathless with longing. Thanks so much, Randy, for the pleasure that your friendship and paintings have given me for the past 30 years.